The Chieftain Marksman is an 8.3 SPAA in the Great Britain tech tree, with the Marksman turret consisting of two Swiss Oerlikon 35mm anti-aircraft turrets and a Macron Series 400 radar. These systems can be compared to the German Gepard's capability of taking out low-flying aircraft and helicopters and unmanned UAVs. In real life, the Marksman turret was originally developed to be a quick way of developing a short-range SPA and could be quickly and easily convert normal tank chassis into SPAs. So some examples that were planned to be installed on were the G6 Howitzers chassis, T54 and 55, the Type 59, Centurion, M48 Patton, Vickers, Chieftain, Challenger 1 and Leopard 1. So I found pictures of the M60 chassis being used and the Vickers chassis, so it's just put them in as they are also used, and I doubt they were put into full production. It's just I found them on Reddit and I said I put them in here just as they were also used, and yeah. The only actual chassis that were fitted with the Marksman turret were the T55 AM chassis and the Leopard 2 A4 chassis. The 2A4 was classified as the ITPSV-90. The Finnish, who manned these two versions of the Marksman, used them up until 2010, which they were then retired. The only other chassis that it was fitted to but never actually put into service was the Chieftain. Only one of these were ever fitted with the actual Marksman chassis. Now, after covering its kind of basic history, in War Thunder, the Marksman is pretty good at its BR for being an 8.3 anti-aircraft system, being it doesn't really face too many advanced aircraft, but even up-tiering it up to 10.7 and higher, nearly to 11.7, I found it's very good at dealing with aircraft such as A-10s and Su-25s, as they're closer ground attack vehicles and they're not really worrying for ground AA. They're more thinking of missiles and stuff, so they'll fly low and you're there and you're ready to intercept them. Now, they're also quite good with drones because drone pilots aren't very aware, and it says it can hit up to 6 kilometers, but you're more guaranteed to hit within the 3 kilometer range. Helicopters are very effective at taking out helicopters, as most times the helicopter pilot is guiding a missile in or is trying to be sneaky and sneak up behind people, and you're there and with the rapid fire of the two 35mm just evaporate it. Now for tanks, the Chieftain chassis is a very slow chassis. It's not fast, it's not maneuverable, unlike the Gepard or the IT-90, which I'm going to call it, because with like the Gepard and the 90, they're based on Leopard chassis and they're super fast and super maneuverable. The Chieftain is very slow, very cumbersome, but it can take hits. Now the turret, very lightly armored and can be easily penetrated through, but if you get the surprise on your enemy, it is very dangerous. It is fitted with DM23 for an ammo. That's okay. I prefer bringing high explosive, the HPTI belt, three of those, then an APT, because you're going to be wanting to fight more aircraft than tanks in this because of how slow it is. But if you do have to deal with tanks, you can very well. The one problem is how spread out the two guns are. It can be annoying trying to take out tanks. Now, Ironically enough, most tanks you can perfectly hit both of their tracks at the same time with the two guns, but you'll just have to remember that your guns are very spread out apart, and even though you are pointing your crosshairs at the hull of a tank, it'll probably hit the most two furthest out points of a tank due to how spread out them guns are. The radar I find very effective. It locks on, it does everything it needs to do. Yeah. So to conclude, it is a well worth grinding out vehicle, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who wants to grind out the British tech tree. And for its first radar guide today, it's pretty solid.